Lee Honish, Andrew Labouche, our new engineer, executive producer, and co-host, Miguel Antonio Barragan, better known as Fight Fiend Mix, bringing you the wonderful world of boxing as we do every Sunday. Fight Net Radio website is currently under construction. You can go to leehonish.com, LEEHONISH.com. You can find the original Fight Net Radio link, as well as all the stuff from Perfect Blue Studio. Perfect Blue Studios this year is celebrating 1 million downloads, and we want to say thank you to all of the fans everywhere, and a big shout out to Bobby Capucci and his show for
big
making
shout
that
out to
happen.
Epstein too. Hello.
Well, shout out to Jeffrey Epstein for not hanging himself.
Yeah.
I mean, to be brutally honest. But 1 million downloads for Perfect Blue Studios. We haven't even done a full year yet, and 1 million downloads is simply amazing. Thank you to all the fans of all the shows. I've been saying it on all the different platforms. Thank you very much. With that said, Fight Net Radio has been around since 2006, bringing you the wonderful world of fighting, football, fun, merriment, and more. With all of that out of the way, let's start off how we start every week. I turn it over to you, Andrew. How's it going with the sweltering heat up there in the Bay Area?
Day 74 in my house, so I would not know. We don't leave too much. I think we might have broke the first case of virtual touching, if that's how you say it. My youngest son, Giovanni, told his mother the teacher is touching him, you guys. I don't know how to handle this. He only sees her through the internet.
Wow.
You gotta believe the kid.
Touching.
You gotta believe the kid.
Is she hot? Is she single? Please send me the information. I'd like to be on a Zoom meeting with her and have a discussion.
Have you ever watched the Netflix show Community College?
No.
No,
Is
never.
this your new fix?
Yeah. It's very good. There's 6 seasons worth. We're only on season 2, so that's awesome. And then you remind me of one of the lead characters, Lee, the guy that's from that Talk Soup show. He used to be the guy that hosted it. Yeah, he's the main character, and he's one of the main characters in this one. He does a very good job of acting, so it's a good show.
He does a very good. He's done a couple of things actually. I'm a fan of his. I'm actually a fan of Talk Soup, and the one he had one on Netflix for about 5 minutes that was like a Talk Soup type format. Okay. He's a very funny comedian, actually.
Yep.
Miguel, how is 120 doing out in the city that never sleeps? Well, currently it's kind of sleeping still. Half the strip is sleeping.
Yeah, it's taking a nap right now. It's hot as shit. Yesterday it hit 113. I did have to go get my fucking oil change, and the particular mechanic, the lobby is small, so he can't have people inside, so there's benches outside. Yeah, that didn't work.
Oh. Yeah. Was it at least a terrible, so you got a free car wash with it?
No, it was some like.
Was that a Vegas fact? Did I just drop a Vegas fact there for people who don't get it? By the way, when you're in Vegas, get an oil change at a Terribles. You get a free car wash when you get an oil change.
Yeah. Hey, and sometimes they have frozen yogurt inside. Sometimes.
Terribles. There's one Terribles in Orange County right now. They put one in Newport Beach recently, and I was so excited when I walked in because it was an actual Terribles, and it was exactly like the ones in Vegas. And the person I was with, I'm sure it was my ex-fiance, she's like, "What's the big deal?" I'm like, "This is amazing. It's just like."
Didn't
Vegas.
the owner just die of Terribles?
Oh, is it Mr. Terrible himself? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was a woman that was owning it, but yeah, I heard something about one of their big chains. One of their big chains out there, the owner just died. That sucks.
Well, for my sake,
she's probably alive and well. Probably wasn't even alive and well. Moving on.
Way to bring the show down. For my little piece about how I'm doing, I'm going to read last week's review of the show. Because it was so blisteringly awful, I thought I'd share it with everybody who listens to the show. So if you didn't like last week's show, trust me, this week is going to be totally different. But I was going to do it to the Stand song by Eminem, but I couldn't put together all the Am I not wrong about that, Andrew? Wouldn't it have been great?
That would have been awesome.
I can try pulling it up. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can try pulling it up.
I mean, we're going to need like see if you find that. Wait, hold on. I'll give you a chance. I'll go back to that later on in the show if you can dig around for that and maybe get it on a separate speaker somewhere. I might be okay with this. Let's get started with, let's start off with MMA just because I'm amused by this. Did I see Alistair Overeem get his ass kicked for, I don't know, 3/4 of a fight and then pull the fight out of his ass, Miguel? Did that occur last night?
Yeah, and it did look like it was part of the strategy. He was just basically letting the guy punch himself out. That his opponent, Kai, has never gone 5 rounds before. This was a main event, so it wasn't like he was
gas out. Jeez.
I mean, he started running out of gas, and Alistair knew it, so he was like, let me just, and Alistair's defense, I don't like his defense. He just kind of covers up and kind of cowers, and it looks bad. So I'm sure he gave away the first couple of rounds, but I mean, it worked. He ended up whooping that guy's ass. Like I think it was the 4th, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it was bloody too.
For those of you who are just boxing fans going, what's an Overeem? You guys don't talk about him much. That would be MMA.
Yes.
The password is MMA. And the reason I'm telling you it's MMA is because, to be brutally honest, last night's fight kind of sucked dick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm trying to be cool about this, but I've been told that I've been, emotionally all over the place for the last few weeks. All right. Let me try to collect myself.
Let me get my notes.
Last night's big fight. Oh, get your notes out, Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to give you my impression. I could be completely wrong. I could be having a drug flashback from the late 90s. My impression of that fight was, what the fuck? How are we having a DQ happen in this day and space and age when guys should be doing everything they can to position themselves during the COVID era, especially when you don't have fans to like kind of back up your insanity. Like, you're doing it in a room full of like 8 guys. Like, this is really DQing in a COVID bubble fight seems to be the lowest denominator of all time. It's like, you can't hear your corner, you can't hear the referee. Like, there were excuses previously that maybe you could have gotten away with. There are no excuses. Andrew, take it away with your notes about last night.
What fight are we starting on? Herring?
Feel free.
Yeah, this is what's wrong with – this is my opinion on what's wrong, why I don't want open scoring in boxing. You'll have the same checkout if the guy that's winning knows he's winning by a lot and he doesn't need to do anything anymore. That's all that happened last night. Herring, they're being a little hard on him, saying he's a quitter and he doesn't believe in himself as a champion. Stop. The dude's 34 years old. He has a world championship fight that's going to make him a lot of money on the horizon. There's no reason to damage the eye anymore. He quit. Is it a bad look? Yes. Is he a quitter and not a champion? And the guy don't shut that shit up. Stop it. Went a little too far with the fucking bashing of Herring last night between Ward and Bradley. I like how everyone's calling him Timothy Ward too, because he seems to just follow whatever Ward says. Ugly fight. Quindo's known to have ugly fights, right? If I'm not mistaken, he's been DQ'd before, so this isn't a surprise what happened. But no, this is what's wrong with open scoring. This is what's wrong. I mean, they were literally talking to the ref. Hey, we're gonna win, right? We're gonna win. He's like, I can't tell you that. I just need to know if you can see or not. And Herring already knew that he was either gonna go to the cards with the lead or get a DQ. So he just, I mean, Miguel, am I lying? He just flat out quit, right? Like, I'm done.
Yeah.
The cut was Camacho Jr. like, if I'm not mistaken. That was a small cut that never dropped a drip of blood after they wiped it. Am I lying? They wiped his eye and it just looked like it went away.
Yeah, he was squinting a lot. I mean, like I do agree with Andrew. I think people are kind of making it a bigger deal than it really is. It's kind of like when Mikey Garcia and Orlando Salido with that fight with the headbutt that broke his nose. It's like he was ahead of the scorecards. There's no point in taking another headbutt. Another headbutt from Okendo could cause another cut, something else that needs to be healed, and maybe more time off for all we fucking know. So it's like, what for? He knows he can get the DQ here or the points, whichever, because he was already ahead in the scorecards. So he was looking for the door. I get it. I don't blame him for that, right? I think everyone's making that a bigger deal than it really is, considering all he's already been through outside of the ring. Like, come on, this really wasn't that bad.
Joining us on the phone is Herring, unbelievably enough. I'm getting it in my headset. Hey.
Clarissa, you made a comeback.
Fun fact, Herring made more than Katie Taylor and Clarissa Shields' last paychecks combined.
Oh.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd throw it out there. You know what? People give me a hard time for that. I've seen that in a couple of the comments. Why are you so hard on the women? I'm not. I think I'm the only champion out there that goes, Katie Taylor, take off your top. You'll make more money. But that's just me. Moving forward, did you guys see anything on the fight card? I just watched main events last night. I was just too frustrated with sports in general yesterday. I don't even know what the fucking Clippers are doing. Across the board, I was frustrated.
Big Baby or the Real Baby, whatever the hell, Anderson.
He's the Real Baby. The Big Baby is officially at 4 different PEDs at this point by count. He's officially at 4 PEDs. If you're keeping track at home for the drinking game, 4 PEDs for Big Baby. Real Baby is still trying to be the Real Baby, who is also promoted by Bob, and so is the Big Baby, but the Big Baby is still on the bottle, and he's got 4 PEDs. Did that confuse everybody? Because who's on first? What's on second? I don't know. Third base. What about the Real Baby last night? Andrew.
He looked good. He was fighting a guy that they kept calling a veteran. He looked homeless to me. The beard, out of shape. His trunk said, "I'm fire." I have no reason. I have no idea why they said that. Big Baby's trunks had Rap-A-Lot Records and BLM on them, or Black Lives Matter. Don't know if you could have those two on there. Just would like to throw that out there. They're trying to make something out of nothing here. They need to pick up his opposition before they start talking about this guy with the other heavyweight contenders. I wasn't too impressed in this fight. He was fighting, like I said, a guy that looked out of shape, a guy that looked like they just pulled right out of the street. Miguel, did you see the fight?
I did. I was kind of flipping back and forth between the UFC card and this one, but I did catch most of it. It was only, 4 rounds, I think it might have gone.
Yes.
I don't remember how many more rounds it went, but I did catch bits and pieces of it, and then the highlights at the end. I like what I saw from Jared. They need to kind of start picking up his opposition like pretty quick, because we're getting. I don't know. It's what the bubble fights have become now. They're pretty much squash fights, for fuck's sake. So we're getting more of these fights, which is fine, and I understand the development that they're going through here with Jared, but they need to start taking that up pretty quickly. He's taking these guys out the way he's supposed to. All credit to him. He's doing what he needs to be doing, but they're looking like stay busy fights, instead of actual like improving fights. He did go a few more rounds than he did last time, if I'm not mistaken. So it's some advancement, but the opposition, the dude looked like, I did see that on his trunks on fire. When I saw that, I totally fell into that. I saw that and I was like, oh shit, okay, cool. This guy's gonna come out throwing heat. No.
I'm fire. Stop it.
Yeah.
Someone must have bought him those. He didn't do that himself.
You know what I'm waiting for in boxing right now? I want to see boxers fall into the NBA. Been watching a lot of NBA because that's all that's fucking on. Can we have trunks where they get to put sayings on their ass for anything? I mean, I just think it would be fun. Like, he hate me on his ass or something.
Yeah. Or the Ocho or some shit.
Boat, the Ocho, anything would be total XFL. I just watched the XFL documentary in my attempt to watch all the ESPN 20 for 20s. I had to watch the XFL one. I think it would be great for
I thought Anderson looked a little immature when he wiped his feet on the man after he knocked him down. He kind of did like he was throwing dirt on him like cats do when they shit.
Oh, he kicked dirt. He did the reverse kick dirt on his grave.
Yes.
I'm okay with that.
No, Lee, he's fighting to nobody. No, he's fighting to nobody. Do that if you win beat one of your rivals that's top 3 or 5 like you, and it's a big fight. You want to spike, juice things up. Do that then. Don't do it when you're fighting the guy from the alley, the back alley.
Andrew, let's be honest. You know me pretty well. If I had, say, knocked out Aaron in my cage fight, you don't think I would have walked over and done the kick dirt on him behind me?
Yeah, but I don't think anyone didn't see you as the face of the MMA coming up, Lee. This guy is supposed to be. This is why I was very unimpressed with him last night. 1, he does that. 2, the trunks. 3, what was I going to say? He's not flashy. It was very technical, broke him down. It's like, dude, you're fighting nobody. Mike Tyson used to go in there and knock these dudes out in 1 round, a few seconds. Make the crowd go, ooh, or the audience, not the crowd, TV audience.
I do like, because I did watch the Tyson one. I do like the Tyson palms up where he looks at everybody going like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like the what? Because he turned his head and lift the palms up and do the what the fuck. I like that. Actually,
and the last thing I had about this fight, the last thing, Lee, is when did we start allowing these fucking beards to be in the ring? Like, this dude Hernandez had a beard, I don't know, 3 inches thick. Like, he had a Santa Claus almost beard last night, not white. It was still dark, but it's like, why aren't opponents telling these guys they need to shave before the fight? I thought that used to be a rule in boxing. It seems to have gone away, and I don't understand why. Looks like you can get injured real easy in a clinch. Hair in the eye, hair in your mouth. You're constantly spitting some shit out because you're getting it from the other guy. I don't know where did we throw that rule away? When did that change?
Yes,
does anybody know?
We did. I don't know where.
No, I suspect it has to do with COVID. At this point, it's just like, let's just get anybody in the fucking ring. It's just like, all right, if you don't want to shave, cool, just get in the fucking ring and get your ass handed to you. I don't know if they're being as strict as before, but I do remember, people having short trimmed beards. Like, who is it? I think Caleb Plant has a beard, but his is like super, super short, like very well trimmed.
It is short. It is.
I haven't seen a beard like that.
Yeah.
And I think that was the rule, was it had to be a certain length. But it seems as, and maybe you guys are right, it's just the COVID thing, but shit, if I was a trainer, no, you're not going in there with the 3-inch beard. I don't know if it helps, but headgear helps, right? Yeah. And that's padding. So to me, you have that much hair on your chin, that's padding too. And then having a brother who is hairy as fuck, that hair does come off, and it will go. He used to wrestle, so I'd have to be his wrestle partner every time he came home. Fucking, he'd want to loot.
Wrestling, they allow it, and that's kind of. I actually know this because I've done club wrestling. There were dudes with full-on, like, manly man lumberjack beards, and they would grind that shit into your eyes. Like,
that's right.
That's
right. There you go.
At collegiate level. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, I actually I was forced to shave my mustache a couple of years ago. Well, several years ago, I had that typical Mexican stash, right? So like, I had an amateur fight, and I didn't know about that. The night before, they told me, they're like, "Oh yeah, you got to shave that out." Or at the weigh-in, I was like, "Oh fuck, no one told me that shit." So I had to fucking shave my mustache that I've had for like years prior to that, which I legitimately did not know I had to do for some amateur fights. I'm like, all right, but apparently I got to be completely clean shaven. Huh?
No, go ahead.
No, that was it. I didn't realize that I needed to be completely clean shaven using that example.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is we aren't going to allow James Harden into professional boxing.
I see it coming down the road, though. Don't get it twisted.
For the right number, he'll be there. With that said, I have an interesting question, Andrew, because you fought amateurs. If you made it to the pro level and you were like a knockout artist, would you have like a go-to move, like a pillow or a dance? Like, what would your thing be if you knocked a dude out? What would your signature touchdown dance be after a KO?
As a kid who used to listen to L. Davis a lot, we act like we've been there before, Lee. No, I never had any kind of victory dance or anything. You see when Tim Brown used to score a touchdown, he'd give the ref the ball and he walks off the field. That's what you're supposed to do. Mike Tyson used to knock someone out, he'd reach out to help them, not throw dirt on them, not put a fucking, not embarrass them. You already knocked the man out. So no need for that. Junior will not do that. I will not teach him. We stay humble. Kick ass, stay humble. That's all you do.
Don't worry, I'll teach him. He needs to learn showmanship and branding. That's my department. Miguel, if you had fought at the pro level, MMA or boxing, would you have had a spike the ball finish after a KO?
No, but I would have like a small gimmick, like I've always
like a rubber ducky or a pillow.
Yeah, like I'd have like those bullets like across my chest, like those Mexican revolutionary guys, like that. That would probably be as much as I'd go, right? But I mean, that would be like a small
candy bullets after the fight, like
There
Apollo Creed. I like this.
I'm saying, right? It would be from get the crowd involved and all that shit. But as far as like, if I knock the dude out, which by the way, I don't have power. I'm fast and I'm accurate, but I don't have power. But if I do knock the dude out, like I'm not gonna, spike the ball as if I had never been there. I'm gonna, I'll celebrate. I'll hop on the ropes and be like, what you guys
with
think?
The fans, yes,
With the fans,
yes,
exactly.
sir.
But I mean, ultimately, that would be it, because I mean, flip the script. If you got knocked the fuck out, would you want a guy like stepping over your damn body? Like you're knocked out? Like, no, of course not. Shit.
That's exactly what I was going to do with the Mr. Pillow Kid. Didn't he just get knocked out in his last fight?
He did.
So I would have brought a pillow. If I was fighting that guy, if I was fighting him, I definitely would have had a pillow with me that night, just in case I knock your ass out, and guess who's getting it tucked under his head?
Or steal it from the other guy's
fun fact, Andrew. The My Pillow guy has found the cure for COVID and told Donald Trump directly. That's just a fun fact to toss in there. I thought about it because I was really close to fighting in March. I was going to come out to Glorious in Domination, which is the Rude song from WWE, the Glorious. That's just for the people who know WWE. But if I had won the fight by knockout, I totally would have done the John Cena, you can't see me, and the shoulder wipe. I totally would have done it. I had it all worked out in my head. With that said, let's move on. We did have boxing on Wednesday. Was anybody stupid enough to watch that shit ass card on Wednesday?
No, I missed it actually.
There was one, believe it or not.
Who fought?
I don't know, and I don't care because I had never heard the names before. I think they were fighting for green cards. And you think that I'm laughing, that I'm making a joke about it. We're going to turn directly now to our first story of this week. It is time for boxing news. First story of the week, Bob Arum says Lomachenko has his green card. I wish I could make this story up. As we've been doing for the last couple of months in honor of Flat Top, we are celebrating fightnews.com.
Did he really get his green card? Lee, that is another home run by Lee Harnish. He told you guys they were fighting.
Is a done deal.
Goddamn.
Because of that, October 17th in the bubble, it's on. And listen, Lopez has been open about his training camp in New Jersey. He's trained for the last, fight there. Lomachenko has been training in the Ukraine and will be training in the U.S. Lomachenko's house here, and he has a green card in the United States, which makes him a resident. Got it? So fuck you, Donald Trump. It was easy for him to come over.
That's awesome.
God bless Bob.
Yes, he's an example to all the rest of them down there in Oxnard fighting for the same goal.
Hashtag MTK for life. You guys think I'm joking about this shit? I've been calling this one for a long time.
Long fucking time. I think Bob did that for you.
NBC I guarantee it's going to be an NBC Dateline. Inside the MTK with Bob Arum and the MTK. For a period of time, Russian and Croatian fighters have been going to Oxnard secretly in the middle of the night by vessel. They appear on undercards of fights. They are promised money, women, and green cards. If they lose, they are sold for dog food.
Oh my God.
They should have this
I don't think NBC would touch it unless fighters.
Oh.
Well, if it were women, it would be a top story. But guys, I don't think if guys were being human trafficked for boxing, I really honestly think nobody would care. They go, okay, so that's the life they picked. Sorry, guys matter too. Hashtag guys matter too. All right.
Yeah.
Save the MTK fighters. There you go. There's my political statement for the day. I'm sure that'll get me into trouble with our executive producer. Let's turn now to Bob Arum, who's looking to pick up some new meat. Once again, back to Bob Arum. Hall of Fame promoter Bob Arum was impressed with IBF number 6, WBO number 9, WBC number 12, light middleweight Tim Tszyu, who's now 16-0, 12 by KO, who stopped former WBO welterweight champion Jeff the Hornet, I think that's his nickname. Who cares? In 8 rounds, and predicts that Tszyu should have a world title challenge in the next 12 months. Before I read his quotes, let us all be honest. Bob's backing up the truck and trying to get himself a Tszyu in his stable. Anybody disagree for him to make these comments for any other reason?
No, sir. That's exactly what he's doing.
He looks
trying to be his
terrific.
cross promoter.
He looks terrific. He looks like the real goods. I mean, back when I was promoting Jack Johnson, you could tell just by looking at a fine athlete, I could go up and squeeze their ass. You knew they were championship materials. It's like a racehorse. By the way, this is the real quote. It's like a racehorse. Sometimes you can tell the colt is going to be good because the sire was good. Holy shit, he just went full Jimmy the Greek there. That is a Jimmy. For those of you who don't know, go watch ESPN Films Jimmy the Greek so you can hear his famous rant about African American. You'd marry the big, right? You marry the big one to the big woman, and you get a big, strong athlete. Bob did it different. It's like a racehorse. Sometimes you can tell that the colt is going to be good because the sire was good. That's wrong. The sire is the woman. So you're saying Kostya's wife is the reason? Okay.
No, the sire is the man.
Sire is the man? All right, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you for correcting.
I just did it this morning, Lee. I bet on Tapit's son this morning. And actually, Tapit's son won yesterday in a huge race, and he looks like he's going to be a Triple Crown threat here.
What happened to Zit on my face? Oh, we'll get to that in a minute. I want to hear about your betting on the Kentucky Derby and Zit on my face or come on my face. You came in third or fourth. I watched it. It was on ESPN Plus. It was streaming. It's a streaming service. Did you know I'm a part of that? I bought stock, which has now got 11 million subscribers. He looked good. I'd like him to come up to my room and show me his ass. I talked to Matt, his manager and promoter, and he said he wanted to fight again before the end of the year in Australia, and then he would bring him over here to the United States. There's no mistake in the resemblance. He looks just like the old man. Kostya was tremendous. You can't make comparison because Kostya was, better at a much lower weight, and I hate to make comparisons. But between the two fighters era, no less than the father and the son, which is just really confusing Bob speak at that point. But let's not just lump him into that. He's still a baby, and he needs a bit more schooling. But I would think he's about a year away. Probably by the end of next year, he will be in a position to compete for a world title with a really good chance to win. There you go. That's all the Bob I got for today. That's almost like a walk-off trick. Like I feel like I could drop the mic right there and go, there you go. You got Clarissa, you got Bob. Peace out, people. Enjoy that. I start around the table. Bob Arum, Kostya Tszyu, Tim Tszyu, and the whole Tszyu clan being compared to racehorses. I guess since they're white, we can do that, and that's ethically okay. So I start with you, Miguel. What is your feeling on Tim Tszyu, Bob Arum, Kostya Tszyu, and the entire Australian army? Let's throw in ACDC because that's Australian too.
Okay, might as well. But I think that's kind of the key there. You just mentioned it. I was going to bring it up just now, but that Australian market. I mean, if we saw, what was it, like 16,000 people that they were able to get into that stadium or arena, or whatever the fuck it was. If they're doing okay to the point where they're getting fans in the crowd, I'm sure, Bob is going to want to open up a market over there and potentially have, a gate, have tickets sold and shit like that. And, right now, Tim Tszyu is the young cat coming up. And of course, he's going to want to, he's going to want to get all over that, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So, I'm pretty sure that's kind of like the main goal here is opening up that market in Australia. And I mean, what better way to do it than a recognizable last name like Tszyu?
I don't disagree. Andrew, your feedback on the Tim Tszyu phenomenon.
I don't disagree at all. I don't see him coming to America anytime soon. He's very young. They got some money to make out there, and I think they stay there and try to bring a fighter over there to fill in some arenas. So yeah, I mean, until COVID's done, I think he stays right where he's at.
There you go.
They can have fans out there, right? They can have fans. They can't have fans over here.
They've got Sam for sure. I don't know about the rest of them. I don't know if they think they're at a soccer game or if they're at a football game or at a boxing match. But I don't.
Yeah, that's what I was real surprised that in the letter how he said the whole country's basically a casual fan. Now I might be, you're gonna read it, I guess, a little bit later. But I found that a little bit shocking that he would throw them all under the casual fan
I've got some good odds and ends for this week, Andrew. I'm gonna bring some heat at the end of the show. I got some stuff.
All right.
Last week, Fight Net Radio reported that Chavez versus Cazares was off with comments from Julio Cesar Chavez himself, and it made for a good read. This week, I'm happy to report, as of September 1st, Chavez Jr. versus Cazares is back on.
Oh, jeez.
The fight between former WBC middleweight title holder Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Mario Cazares is back on for September 25th. The fight will be the co-main event on the third exhibition bout between Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. and Jorge Arce. Yes, tell me if I get this right, Miguel. Moramero?
Maromero. Close.
Maromero.
Yeah.
There you go. I got to go up. Maromero. Has been off and on several times. Just a few days ago, the debate between Chavez Sr. and Cazares and his team regarding the weight. Right after a virtual press conference, Jr. announced on social media the fight was canceled. Today, Fight News spoke with Rafael Soto Gil. Is that 3 last names or 3 first names? Promoter of the event. And Rafa said that the fight is a go. The fight is on. He said the fight will be a light heavyweight bout, and it would be contested at 175. Chavez Jr. versus Cazares have agreed to the fight. The fight is definitely on. All right, I send it round the table. I start with you, Miguel. Cazares versus Jr. or Senior versus Maromero. I mean, so much to unpack here for what it will amount to be a fucking shit show.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too interested in seeing old folks get back in there again. You know, I don't like. I guess it's not, what is it done for charity? I guess, you know, I mean, these guys, they're gonna have a little bit of the, you know, of the, what I don't know, the balls they had back in the day. They're gonna go in there and they're gonna throw down in this exhibition fight. But I mean, I'm not a fan of watching, you know, Chavez get punched in the face again, or fucking, you know, anyone else, Maromero for that matter. I would lean towards watching Chavez Jr. just because he's younger. I'd much rather watch that fucking fight. But I mean, even then, I mean, I don't know. This doesn't even move the needle for me at all. Neither of these fights do.
I want the boxing world to know Chavez Jr.'s flaws are because of his father. The brat got his way with his dad, right? He cried, I want to be on the card. I swear I'll be on weight. I swear. So his dad ultimately said, okay. Now we know what the problem in Chavez Jr.'s life is. Senior is one of those dads that gives in. That's all I got. That's what Chavez Senior.
Well, let's be honest. I think we've documented this pretty well. That Chavez Jr. has literally been trying to get into his father's life since the first time he fought. His father's been embarrassed. His father's recorded videos about being embarrassed. There have been memes.
He put his foot down, and then he took it off. Can't do that.
And then he finally gave in and went, okay, son, you're right.
Okay,
I fucked around on your mom. Okay, mijo. Okay, mijo. What do you want? Do you want the RC car? Do you want the RC car? I'll get you the car, okay? Dad, I'm old now. I want to be 175 because I'm a fat fuck. Okay, son. You don't have to fight. I'll stand up for you, mijo. Híjole.
Now we know.
It's never going to get old, is it? It's never going to get old. God bless you.
You know what? I've actually seen. So I'm in Vegas, right? And I follow this one dude, Jorge Capetillo, who's was in Tyson Fury's corner, you know, as a cut man. So he's got a gym here, and I've seen clips of like Chavez Jr. here in town in his gym, you know, doing pad work with Capetillo. So I was like, oh shit, apparently he's in town. He doesn't look any more impressive than he did before or anything like that. But I just thought I'd throw that in there. I think he's in town.
Oof. There you go. It will. And by the way, Fight Net Radio fans, don't worry. As long as he's putting on boxing gloves or making Instagram videos, we'll cover it. We are there. We are sports. We are boxing here at Fight Net Radio. New boxing game finally in the works. That's right. Somebody's finally decided to make an actual boxing game for your Xbox and PlayStation. Online game creators B Gaming. First of all, let's stop right there because I'm going to read this in its entirety. If the name of the company is B Gaming, I'm going to say that the best game programmers aren't involved already. If your company's called B Gaming, it's not BE, it's the letter B. Like that's the score you got on your test. gaming. So you're just okay at it, right? That's what you're saying as a coder? Yeah. We don't want the best. Those guys go to Atari, they go to Activision, they go to Sony. We want a B-level guy. We want a B gamer. Are you a B guy? Yes, sir. I'm a B guy. I just barely got by. Good. So we have a sister company called C Gaming, and we don't want to send you over there. You'll be working on Pong 2.0. B Gaming is working on, that was really good material, by the way, on the fly. B Gaming is working on the first major boxing video game since Electronics Arts, that's EA Sports, by the way, released Fight Night Champions in 2011. All right, Miguel, you're young enough. Did you ever play EA Sports Fight Night Champions?
Man, I'm not a big gamer, but one of my cousins, yeah, exactly. He's one of the cousins that got everything he wanted, and is a spoiled brat, right? With another Chavez, basically. So of course he did get the video game that he wanted, and he was way good at it. He always whooped my ass. I've played it a few times, but it was one of those. I think it's Knockout Kings. I think it was.
Well, the only one that I ever saw was Mike Tyson's Knockout. I mean, that's
what the hell's wrong with Lee? You should know the whole fucking evolution of gaming. Come on now.
I know. Okay. Hold on. We had Mike Tyson's Knockout, which was the shit when it came out. Okay, that was the first real boxing video game. Knockout Kings, and then Fight Night 11. I don't know anything about Fight Night.
You guys know that Julio Cesar Chavez had a game for Super NES?
No. I didn't know.
You could go to Google. It was very big in Japan. It never made it to America. I believe I have it. I might have bought it on eBay. I probably did buy it. It's probably one in my boxes, Lee. I used to buy it. When I turned 18, started working, I did one of those nights where I bought everything that was Chavez online. I even bought his candy. I have a box of candy, Julio Cesar Chavez candy.
Oh my God! You've got to get a photo and get that on Fight.
Oh yeah, I could do that. I got the boxes. I even went to the gas station and bought the cutout. Well, actually, that's a funnier story. Let me say it like this, because it's a funnier story. My dad came home and he was like, "Look what I got you, son," and I was happy as hell. Right, full cutout of Chavez that he was selling beer or whatever, and And my dad goes, "Hey, Irene," that's my mother's name. He goes, "I bought this for $150 or some shit, right?" And she goes,
"Oh my God."
She goes, "You dumbass! I bid it on it for $80." They bid on it against each other at the same gas station just so I could have it. I have that too.
Bravo.
Yep. My parents were awesome.
Bravo to Andrew's dad. Wherever you are, I hope you're listening to this episode. Good dad moment. Good dad moment.
One time, Chavez was on the inside of the beer cooler throwing a jab, and it said, I don't know what beer, Budweiser, $11.99. I snagged that, put it in my shirt, walked away. I have that too.
Oh, you know what? I got a similar story actually. I went to Canelo and American here in Vegas, right? And there was down the street, there was this empty dirt lot that's fenced off, and on the fence there was these big ass banners. Advertising Canelo versus Khan. Oh, did I snatch one of those? You guys fucking believe it. I pulled over. I had nothing. I had tools on me, but I didn't have any scissors. I needed to clip off those what are those things called? Those zip locks or the zip ties, right? And I had nothing. So I went to the fucking gas station down the street. I bought a pair of
small
travel size.
Yeah.
I got nail
clippers.
Yeah. Nail clippers. And I snatched two of them.
I would have done it. Yeah. I'm with you.
Okay. Next week's show might not be on air because Miguel might not be with us.
I'll be locked
Holy shit. By the way, Fight Net Radio fans, this is your opportunity to go to our Facebook page, and we would love to hear what you've stolen from boxing events or gas stations.
Like Nancy Pelosi would say, do as we say, not as we do. Yeah. There you go, Lee.
You know the one that I had gotten my hands on? I would have liked the Chuck and Tito cutout that they had at 7-Eleven for their fight. That would be nice. That's what I want. I want life-size Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz in some room that I call my man cave, so I could stare at those two guys. Tito with the dumb grin and Chuck with his dumb grin. I mean, we're basically having a duel of who is less dumb between the two. But I digress. The fun part of this story comes in the company that they've signed a significant agreement to. Can anybody guess which sanctioning body they're partnering up with.
Oh.
And if you get this wrong, you might be thrown off the show because
The
I
one
think
and
it's
only.
blatantly obvious.
I
Go
bet
ahead.
you they're making a belt. Are they making a belt for the video game?
Andrew's keeping his day job. Yes, that's right. The WBC has signed a significant deal with B Gaming. So the B-level belt is with the B-level gaming company for a significant fee. I can't even imagine what they must have paid to get the licensing rights for the WBC. Players controlling virtual boxers will be competing to win the famous legendary green and golden belt to become the WBC world champion. Wow.
There's still a
Wait,
catch here.
Hold on.
Are there sanctions?
Bravo, WBC. You found a new way to extort money for a belt that's generally meaningless in our industry, because you keep putting it on people that don't defend their belt against anybody in the top 5. Yay. So I'm hoping that this has, I'm going to put out my request list for this. Can we have PBC mode where you can fight below the top 10 once you become the champion?
No, and I'll tell you why, Lee. Oh, go ahead, Miguel. You first. Go ahead, Miguel.
I was just going to say, as long as we include a TBA in there in the PBC section, I'm good.
Oh, very nice. Yes.
I'll be defending the heavyweight title against TBA.
Yeah.
Yay. Oh, my God. And by the way, the fighter will be making more than Katie Taylor. And TBA will be making more money in that fight, just to be brutally honest. Oh, my God. Can it have cheat mode? Like you can pay off referees and, influence fights?
And then make excuses after you lose? Can you do that?
Yeah, I think you should have like a Don King mode where you can have press conferences going, look, my fighter was up, and the other fighter was down for 15 seconds. What's up with that? We challenge it, and the WBC will uphold it, right?
Slow count.
Or no, my shoulder. Have you guys heard the new one from Deontay Wilder talking about my fucking shoulder being fucked up?
Yeah. A sparring partner has come out and said it was his elbow.
And you get news alerts.
They have the famous picture that we kept pointing to in the first round of him holding his arm during the fight. There you go.
I think it should have news alerts, right? So, hey, the number 1 contender has a bad knee. You should fight him now.
Let me tell you why the fight game went away. How do I say this? Like in football, John Madden was able to strike a deal with the NFL, which the NFL owns their players, and they couldn't do anything. They couldn't say anything about being in it or not. In boxing, it was too expensive to strike a deal with all of the headliners, all of the headliner promoters. And because the boxers were so greedy and everybody wanted $1 million to be on their fucking game, the fight game went away. And that's what ultimately happened to boxing. As a man who tried for years while covering the sport, inside the sport, was trying to see why the boxing game went away, that's what I was told. The fighters got greedy. They couldn't come to an agreement with half of the named fighters back, Roy Jones, Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd, all of these guys.
Roy Jones knockout game, actually, as I recall.
No, but I'm telling you why it went away. And I don't know if it's coming back. It might come back, but it's going to have only half the guys. Who wants to play that game? I want to play a game where I'm fighting everyone, not just – I don't want a game where – and to be honest with you, the last EA Sports video game that came out, I think they found a loophole. I don't know this for sure, but I'm telling you, I think their graphic guys were literally making the fighters and putting them online where you could go download them. Because, Lee, there was some of these fighters that you could download online that looked exactly like Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao. I mean, I'm talking trunks, everything. And I think EA Sports was actually doing that. Now, they say it's fans. Fans can make a fighter, then download them into the internet, and then you can go download the guy. But bullshit. I think that's what happened there, and maybe the fight world caught on, and there was a big old argument over money, but they're not going to get past this. The PBC will never come to an agreement because all their guys think they're Floyd fucking Mayweather. So how much are you going to have to pay them for their name?
Yeah, I agree. Because here's the thing: when we're talking about those other games, there's usually one major organization, right? Like one governing body, the NFL, the NBA, the UFC, whatever. Boxing, because boxing doesn't have that, Imagine having to strike a deal with all those fucking promoters or all those specific fighters. Like, dude, that shit will be like insanely expensive. It like we'll most likely, like, I think it's more likely that we'll see a EA Sports Top Rank before we see anything else. Before we see specific fucking boxers from PBC or whatever on the damn game. It's just I think they're just asking for too much. And I understand their point of view. Of course, they're going to want to get money any other way they can, that it doesn't involve necessarily going into the ring and getting their ass beat. But I mean, it robs the fans of having all those guys on that one game.
And I'll tell you, what happened to the NFL, John Madden football, was the veterans started complaining, hey, wait a minute, why aren't we getting paid? Madden football cut them out. If you guys don't remember, that happened. Before you could play legendary players back in the day, you couldn't play them after a certain time because they, and I don't want to use the word greedy, I guess they weren't getting paid at all. And they're like, this is bullshit. You're using my name, my number. I want some money. And Madden football said, fuck it. EA Sports said, fuck it. Cut them.
Yeah, there you go. With all of that said, we are going to end our sports stories with a good story. That's right. DeAndre Ware becomes a hero inside and outside the ring. This is where we ended for this week's news. It wasn't a typical weigh-in day for super middleweight contender Toledo fighter DeAndre Ware, but it wasn't a day that out of the ordinary either. But it wasn't a day out of the ordinary. Who wrote this? This is a press release, and it's written badly. Ware not only brought his fighting skills to Las Vegas, where he will meet Steven Nelson. Notice we didn't talk about the NABO title fight at all. At the MGM Grand Bubble. Approximately 30 minutes before the weigh-in, Ware was meeting with Nevada commission officials and filling out customary pre-fight paperwork when Susan's suddenly collapsed. Eyewitnesses painted a bleak picture as to Susan's condition. That's when Ware jumped into action by performing chest compressions and revived Susan's. I'm here for my fight, but I had to put EMS skills to work and do some CPR. Happy to say the guy was talking a bit and was alert, headed to the hospital. I'm thankful. I feel I saved a life, Ware posted immediately after on his Twitter account. Susan's was rushed to the hospital nearby, where he is responsive and expected to make a full recovery. See, I ended on a good story there, Andrew.
Very nice.
I know. I'm trying. Turning now to our boxing schedule for next week from the lovely ESPN boxing site. Next week, we have, what do we have? What do we have? Why are you trying to go to my app? I'm all about my ESPN app. All right. So next week, that would be, there's boxing tonight. That's right.
Yes.
September 6th. Fighting on Fox. We've got Ugas versus Ramos for the WBA quote-unquote regular title. Let's start right there. Am I going to watch this or am I going to watch the Laker game? I start with you, Andrew.
You should watch it. You got some PBC guy been sitting, floating around the top there for a while with the PBC rankings. He might get a shot if he wins the night. So, yeah, I would say check this fight out.
All right. And for those of you who don't know, Fox Sports 1 generally, because they know they're competing with the NBA, puts the fights on again around 7 or 8 o'clock, plus all the undercards are available on Fox Sports 1. I turn to you, Miguel. How do you feel about Ugas?
Well, I'm a fan of Ugas. He's trained here in Vegas several times. I've actually interviewed him and seen him in person. I did attend his fight when he fought Porter in Los Angeles. I do think he beat Porter. He got kind of shafted in that one. So I've been following him, since then. This is for what the quote unquote the regular title is. I don't even know who the fuck
whatever that is.
I thought this was the belt that fucking was it Pacquiao had that he beat Thurman for. I don't know. I'm hard to keep track of, but I mean, he wins tonight, and it puts him in like real good spot, in a real good spot to get a potential like big money fight down the line. Maybe not too far down the line, but I mean, it's good to like see. I plan to watch this one, of course, because I like Ugas, but to see him potentially get a fight down the line against another big name, or I guess I should say another name or a big name. I'm looking forward to it. I'd watch it if I was. I mean, it might not be the most exciting fight, but I'll tune in. No problem.
And I think the name we're looking for is Spence, right? Because right now the PBC is kind of in a weird place where Danny Garcia and Thurman, they look to be fighting more for the money than to fight for legacy anymore. They're kind of past that. I don't see them risking it with you, Gus. I do see Spence because he's still on the rise. He's still undefeated, and he would probably be favored, in a slight favorite, but be favored against you, Gus. I think that's the fight that Al Heyman would probably put together. I think he's ready to cash in. If Mikey Garcia isn't a cash in right now on the Spence fight for Al Heyman, his next one will be, whether it be Terrence Crawford or Manny Pacquiao. And the same with Keith Thurman. I think Keith Thurman, they're looking to move him into a big fight. If he loses, he's probably, not done, but done for
back to the line.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Is it wrong to drink a large coffee while it's 90 degrees and I'm sweating to death?
Oh, jeez.
Same here, bro.
Like is it a nice coffee?
You were here for the pre-game discussion, Andrew, of what weight I'm at. But let's just say I'm rapidly approaching record lows on my weight class.
Oh, good. Record lows, you said, right?
Because I was fat at your wedding, Andrew. Just because I was fat at your wedding, okay? That is not the case right now. September 12th, live from the bubble. Hashtag MTK, loser must and will become dog food, and the winner will get a green card. Edgius Klaslavaklas takes on Mikhail Zawiski in a 10-round welterweight fight. I think the more interesting fight on this fight card, and tell me if I'm wrong about this, Miguel Mariaga is taking on Joet Gonzalez at featherweight on the undercard. That's the fight of that card, right?
Uh-huh.
Am I wrong?
Yeah. We're going to get a better fight out of that one than the main event. I'll tell you that.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think those guys are fighting for a card either. And there is a metric shit ton of TBAs happening on this card. I mean, Jesus. Bob is all full up on that. Also, on September 12th. Yeah, go ahead. What?
Oh, no, I was just going to, what's the TBA about? I'm looking at it on my end, and it has names of the opponents. It just says, the rounds, the number of rounds. Is that what it is?
Number of rounds, or when it's going to be. I mean, Eric Puente is fighting a TBA. There's a TBA of either rounds.
I think it's rounds because it shows the weight class crazy. And it shows the fighter. It's just okay. I guess so. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, it's kind of crappy. Don't look forward to that, but I think Mariaga Gonzalez might be okay if you're looking for a decent fight. Also on September 12th, live from London, which I'm going to take a wild guess means from the backyard of, but it doesn't say DAZN. Anthony Yarde is back. He's taking on Dex Spellman in the light heavyweight division. That's the only thing worthwhile on this card. We haven't heard from Yarde in a while. Andrew, you like to talk about Yarde?
Yeah, we talked about this last week. Yarde coming off a difficult time in COVID. We don't really know how he's going to respond. Before COVID, he was knocked out by a jab. During COVID, he lost 2 family members, I believe, very close family members. I don't want to say who they were and it not be true, but he lost 2 family members back to back. Now he's coming out of it fighting again. I don't know who Yarde is right now. We'll see on this upcoming fight.
There you go. That takes care of all your boxing for next weekend. How'd we do with the Dear Stan music?
Oh, well, I mean, I can pull it up, but I don't know how clear or crisp it's going to come across here on the because I have it.
It's going to work at all.
I was going to work it all.
We can always give it a try while I read the letter from our executive producer and international correspondent Sam Navajero.
Okay, let's give it a try. You tell me if you can hear this. I'm going to try to blast it.
Let's see if it comes through.
No?
It's not bad. Hold on.
There you go.
I'm feeling it.
All right, go ahead.
It keeps breaking up. There you go. Dear Lee, coming off the best, most perfectly balanced information ever from Fight Net Radio episode, you spent the first 9 minutes and 34 seconds talking about your relapsing. Signed, your dear friend Sam. Dear Lee, having said that, it was great hearing you back, allowing Andrew and Miggs to go back and forth. Even the MMA talk was great. Your ESPN Plus doco reviews. I'd rather hear about Andrew's horse racing experience than hearing about Oscar, War Machine, or even the Bulgarian weightlifter who's sharing your room. Sign, your friend Sam. Dear Lee, Miggs needs to have his own microphone sorted out, but no doubt you'll have that sorted by next episode. Guess what? You're wrong. Dear Lee, the stadium that Zoo and Horn was held in, Queensland County Bank Stadium, is 25,000 seats of capacity, officially opened in February 2020. Queensland state COVID laws only allow for 16,000. Signed, your good friend, Sam. There you go.
Oh, nice. I didn't get that one. Did he send that to you by yourself?
That's the actual review, and he sent it directly to me. So shout out to Sam. I hope you like this episode better. I'm going to end on a fun note this week for the last 15 minutes. Just make sure you guys get a well-rounded show. This week, we're playing Jeopardy.
Oh. All right.
Our contestants today, he's from Las Vegas, Nevada. He has a day job, doesn't talk about it much, likes to be at home where there's air conditioning, and really doesn't travel the strip all that often unless he's going to a fight. Please welcome Miguel Antonio Barragan.
Woo, it's good to be here. It's good to be here.
And from Tracy, straight out of the hood of Oakland.
Oh, wow.
Welcome our I had a whole thing written for you, Andrew. Our only union guy on the show, a man who believes union first and Tracy lives matter. Please give a warm welcome for the longest-standing, thickest-skinned co-host of Fight Night Radio, Andrew Lapache. All right, gentlemen, welcome to the show. Today we are going to play Boxing Jeopardy. Our categories on the board are Oscar de la Hoya, and Oscar de la Hoya, and Oscar de la Hoya, and Oscar de la Hoya. We flipped a coin backstage. Andrew Lapache, you get to select first.
De La Hoya for 100, please.
Okay, please remember to put your answers in the form of questions. The answer is 223 wins with 163 by knockout.
Ding, 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 ding.
Good job. Go ahead,
What is
Andrew.
Oscar de la Hoya's amateur record?
That is correct for $200. Go ahead and select.
Oscar de la Hoya for 200, please.
All right. His name was Julio Gonzalez. Who is the biggest upset in the 92 Olympics?
Oh, very nice. Ooh, you went deep there. Damn, Lee.
Yeah, that's some research.
Shit.
All right, Miguel, you've got the board.
All right. Well, this is a tough one. Let me see whether I can decide. I'm gonna go with Oscar de la Hoya for 300.
Sure. Whatever. I'm not keeping score. 130 to 160.
What the fuck? What in the
Ding,
hell?
ding, ding.
Andrew.
Oh, shit.
What was the score when he won? No. Yes.
Miguel.
Oh, shit.
What?
I know. God
Yeah,
damn.
you
I
know
don't
it
know.
now.
What is
You
the
know
fight
it
person?
now.
I don't know. What is the fight person?
Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding.
Andrew, what is it?
What divisions did De La Hoya win a title at?
That's correct. That's
yeah,
correct.
baby. Yeah, baby.
All right. Andrew, go ahead and select.
De La Hoya for 500, please.
It was 17 total.
Oh.
Hit the buzzer, Miguel.
Hit the buzzer.
Ding, 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 ding.
Miguel.
What is the number of titles De La Hoya won?
Oh, your audio just cut out on that one.
Oh, no. Damn it. What is the number of
All right, go ahead and try it one more time.
What is the number of titles De La Hoya has won?
That's close. I'm going to check with the judges.
Ding, ding, ding.
Andrew?
What is the number of title defenses he had?
No, you're both so. Ooh, wait. Let me do it Trebek style. Ooh, so close.
Damn it.
Oscar has defeated. What is the number of current
Damn.
or former world title holders?
Nice.
Ooh.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
So close.
Ah. All right.
Hmm.
I'll let you have the board, Miguel.
All right. We're going to go with Oscar De La Hoya for 500.
All right. 73 inches.
Oh, shit. Ding, 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 ding. What is? I'm gonna go with. This is completely the wrong answer, but I'm gonna go with what is the length of the spoon he used?
Fucking awesome.
What is it? What is it?
What is the length of the spoon that he used to show up
It's a good answer, but incorrect. Anybody else?
You know, Miguel, you took the words out of my mouth. I'll go with wingspan. What is Oscar's wingspan? But I did think it was the spoon.
Ooh, I'm sorry. Ooh, I'm sorry. I'm so close. Although Oscar states that he's approximately 6 feet tall, his actual height. Oh, I'm sorry. You guys are. He actually has it right. His reach is 73 inches. I read it wrong. You got it right, Miguel. That's on me. I'll get that post edit. That's how they do it when Trebek makes a fuck up. It is. It's his wingspan. His reach is 73 inches. Okay. Andrew, go ahead. You have the board.
Oscar De La Hoya for 500, please.
Sure, why not? 9, 3, and 1.
9, 3, and 1. What is his record in world title fights?
You didn't ring in. You did.
Oh.
It's still wrong.
Oh,
it was
good.
still wrong.
Good.
This is a curveball. I'll put it out there for you, Miguel. This is a bit of a curveball. It is an Oscar-related fact.
Can you repeat the question one more time?
The answer is 9, 3, and 1.
Oh, Jesus Christ! What the fuck? Shit. What is? I dinged in. What is his record? Legal record outside of the ring?
Good answer. See, I knew there was comedy behind these answers. The correct question is, what was Oscar's father's record as a boxer in the United States?
Oh, sweet.
There you go.
Very good.
All right.
You learning something today, Fight Net Radio. I'll tell you that. Lee's pulling them out today.
Right. Oh, yeah. Look, I was told it wasn't boxy enough. I talked too much about my personal life. I'm going the other way with this. Fuck y'all. All right. Andrew, the board is yours.
Oscar De La Hoya for 1,000, please.
Good one. She hosted a popular TV show in Puerto Rico at the age of 14. She reportedly hates to watch him fight.
Oh, don't know her name. Who is Oscar De La Hoya's wife? Ding, ding, ding. My bad. Fuck, I disqualified again.
Wait, hold on. Let me check with the judges. Ooh, so close. We are looking for a name. Want to give it a stab? I didn't know her name until I read it, and it's actually funny once I read her name.
Nah.
Who is Millie?
Millie.
God
damn it. You said it a few times. My bad.
All right. It's time for Final Jeopardy. I want you guys to be honest. I don't care where you write it down. I'm putting you guys on your honor. Okay?
Yes.
And here is the answer to Final Jeopardy. It is the year he won a Grammy Award. Do 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 do.
Ding 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 ding.
No, that's not how Final Jeopardy works. Clearly, you have never watched the show. All right. I want to thank our contestants first and foremost. I want to thank our sponsors, Boxer Rocks. From the makers of the Pet Rocks comes Boxer Rocks. When you have a problem, Boxer Rocks. Just grab a towel and take care of your problems. All right. I will go first. Andrew, how much did you wager for Final Jeopardy?
All of it.
Good job. What year? It is the year that Oscar De La Hoya won a Grammy. What did you write down?
I wrote down 1998.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Miguel, since this game is on your honor, how much did you wager? If you say $1, you got this locked up.
Shit. Because I live in Vegas, I'm gonna wager more than I have, so I'm gonna say like 1,500.
That's very PBC of you. Very PBC of you. That's very Steven Espinosa.
The calculator.
Hold on. Let's check if our judges allow that. That would be $14,475,000 on Final Jeopardy. Fine job. Thank you, Stephen Espinosa calculator. All right, Miguel. For the game, for the win. It's the year that he won a Grammy.
I'm going to go with what is 1996 when he fought fucking Chavez.
Yeah, that was early.
Damn it.
When was it, man?
You're actually now officially in debt to the Jeopardy game. The correct answer, for those of you playing along, if you knew it, hey, send us back your comments. The correct answer was 2001. 2001.
Wow.
And shout out to Jock Bio for fun facts. It will be back in the coming weeks. I'm starting to like Boxing Jeopardy. That'll do it for this week's show. Anything you've got additionally on Drew?
No. Very good show, Lee. Thank you very much.
Miguel Antonio Barragan, check him out at Fight Fiend Migs on both Instagram, Facebook, and other social media platforms like YouTube. Have you got anything to add?
No, just enjoy tonight's Ugas fight and a good work week ahead.
There you go. Everybody try to stay inside where it's cool and not sweaty, because I'm telling you, San Diego is hot and motherfucking sweaty. And I thought I'd never live to say that out loud. Miguel, hit the button.